I've been diving into some pretty slick gaming tech lately, and this time I've got my hands on the Gulikit KK3 Pro controller. Boasted as the ultimate game changer for serious players, boasting all sorts of smart features like Hall effect joysticks and ultra low latency. Big words, right? Over the past few weeks, I've been testing it across a range of platforms, including the PS5, using my P5 Mate adapter to see if it can live up to the hype. My goal? To find out if this high-tech contender actually delivers on its promise of precision and durability, or if it's just another flashy controller with an actually not so hefty price tag. As a gaming hardware reviewer with an eye for detail, and not necessarily this eye, that was my cat, I promise, I'm here to break down every aspect of this device, from its innovative features to its real-world performance. Is it as revolutionary as they claim? Can it handle the heat of competitive gaming? Or is it better suited for casual play? And most importantly, is it worth your hard-earned cash? Stick around as we find out, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for good measure as well. I've got to admit, as someone who spent plenty of time with the DualSense Edge, the KK3 Pro had a high bar to clear. Sony's premium controller has been my go-to for its customizable layout and adaptive triggers that practically whisper next gen every time you pull them. So naturally, I was curious, could Gulikit's offering with its sleek design and tech-forward features go toe-to-toe with the DualSense Edge? Spoiler alert, it might not have the adaptive triggers, but it sure tries to make up for them in other areas. We're talking smoother stick control and a promise of no stick drift ever. That's a bold claim, but does it hold up? Let's get into it. One of the first things you'll notice when picking up the KK3 Pro is how comfortable it feels in your hands. The curvature around the back isn't just for show, it's designed to align with the natural grip over your palms, offering a snug fit that puts less strain on your fingers during those long gaming sessions. Unlike the standard cylindrical handles you'll find on many controllers, this one feels like it was actually crafted with a human hand in mind. It's the kind of thoughtful design that makes you wonder why more controllers haven't followed suit. Compared to the DualSense Edge, which also boasts decent ergonomics, the KK3 might just edge it out in terms of pure comfort. But is comfort alone enough to make this the next go-to controller? We'll explore that. Another standout feature of the KK3 is the smoothness of its stick movement, and I've got to give a nod to the plastic rings inside the stick wheels for that. These little details often go unnoticed, but they make a world of difference. The rings are silky smooth, so every twist and turn along with the Hall effect stick modules makes the stick feel fluid, with zero friction to throw you off your game. No more worrying about your sticks snagging, drifting, or catching during intense maneuvers, just pure polished control. It's the small touch, and to include Hall effect modules just elevates the overall experience, especially when precision matters most. Sure, the DualSense Edge has customizable stick modules, but when it comes to buttery smooth handling, Gulikit might have them beat here. The build quality of the KK3 is solid, and there's no doubt about that. While it might not scream premium when you're pressing the buttons, it certainly feels like it's made to last. Gulikit even brags about their patented button durability, promising they'll hold up through a million of presses. And while the buttons lack that satisfying clicky feedback you might find on top-tier controllers, I guess they're dependable. No wobbly inputs, no sticky buttons, a far cry from the occasional frustration of a standard DualSense, where sticky buttons can throw you off mid-game. It's reassuring to know you've got a controller that won't bail on you after a few intense sessions. So let's talk triggers. The KK3 triggers hit a sweet spot for me, especially with the larger design and well-placed trigger stoppers. Unlike some controllers that try to mimic mouse clicks with ultra-short actuation, these triggers give you just enough resistance to feel satisfying without being sluggish. That bit of give adds a tactile connection, making it easier for your brain to register every shot or break. However, the bumpers are a bit of a different story. They've got a bit of a squishy feel which, while not being a deal breaker, doesn't inspire the same confidence as the rest of the build. If anything's going to wear out or snap first, I'd put my money on these bumpers. Let's hope they prove me wrong though. Now let's address a bit of a head scratcher with the KK3, powering it on. It's not exactly a deal breaker again, but the process feels unnecessarily clunky. First you switch it on, then wait for it to flash its little light show around the sticks. Only then will your device finally acknowledge its existence. It's not a massive issue, but in an age where seamless connectivity is king, it does feel a bit archaic. It's the kind of minor annoyance that makes you appreciate the instant response of something like the DualSense. Still, it's not enough to make me say, don't buy this controller, but it's one of those things that you just wish was a bit more polished. One thing Gulikit absolutely nailed with the KK3 though is the textured grip. From the triggers to the sticks and even the back shell, these subtle textures aren't just for show. They genuinely improve your hold during gameplay. It's not overdone either. They've struck a nice balance between comfort and practicality. Your fingers stay where they're meant to, and your thumbs don't slip during intense moments. This is an area where the DualSense Edge, despite its sky-high price, doesn't quite measure up, as we all know from the peeling back shell. For a controller that costs less than half of Sony's flagship, it's impressive how much thought went into making it feel this good in hand. Looking back at everything we've covered, it's clear the KK3 delivers where it counts. From its ergonomic design and silky smooth sticks, to the solid triggers and textured grips. This controller ticks a lot of boxes for both casual and competitive gamers. Sure, the power-on process could be slicker and the bumpers leave a bit to be desired, but those are minor blips in an otherwise impressive package. It even manages to hold its own against the DualSense Edge, which is no small feat considering the price gap. With all that in mind, I'm giving the KK3 a nerd rating of 5 out of 5. If you have any questions or comments regarding my review, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe.